Yo. Welcome back to Brandon Smooth TV. Back at y'all with another review. We got She-Hulk on Disney Plus. Episode 1. Now, I was actually excited for this show when I seen the trailers. I was super excited. As you know, as far as the MCU is concerned, Bruce Banner, the Hulk, hasn't really had a movie. You know, we have to consider the Avenger movies, his movies, make a few cameos and things like Thor, Ragnarok, but he has not had a movie as far as the MCU is concerned with the new generation. Now, we do know that he had the original movie, Hulk, with Eric Bana, and then, of course, the Incredible Hulk with our boy Ed Norton, which is now canon, and they canonized it in this show. They may have mentioned something before too about Harlem getting destroyed in one of the Avengers movies, but you know. Things I like about this show. Number one, the breaking of the fourth wall is super cool, and a lot of people believe that started with Deadpool. But I had to go do a little research, and I think She-Hulk was one of the first, if not the first superhero to break the fourth wall. Talking to the audience, letting them know how you really feel in real time. I think that is something super special. Secondly, I like Bruce Banner in this. Mark Ruffalo does a good job, and I have female cousins. Shout out CC and Bria, and I understand they have a good relationship. So I understand when they're going back and forth from a cousin perspective. I don't care what nobody say. When you get around your family, it's like they can bring stuff out of you that you're not used to, or, you know, they can actually challenge some of your decisions. Now, starting the episode off, she goes and visits her cousin, and they're riding around, and he's kind of giving her some details about what's been going on with him. He's actually in human form, and he's built a little machine, looks like a little wristwatch thing that can keep him in human form, which is dope. Out of nowhere, a goddamn Sakaar ship swoops down, and they're probably looking for Bruce Banner. We got to remember he spent his time in Ragnarok 2 years stuck in the Hulk form, fighting and becoming champion of that planet. So that ship comes out of nowhere, causes them to get a car crash, and then Bruce is knocked out. She's not knocked out. She pulls him out from the car, and his blood got into her blood, the open wound. So, and that's how she got her powers. Now, it's kind of weird how she got her powers. I know they changed it from the comic book origins. That's cool. But it was just kind of weird how she got her powers. So once she gets the power, she wakes up because she actually rages out. She actually rages out and she blacks out, so she doesn't remember what she's doing. And then Bruce takes her to his secluded area. I guess it's an island or a little area in Mexico where, you know, he actually built the lab. Tony paid for it, of course, but he built the lab and figured out how to make Smart Hulk. So he's trying to teach her, as you see in this photo, how to control her anger and stuff. And she blames Bruce for everything. I mean, I can't help you save me. I can't help my blood got into your blood. I can't help you was cut on your arm. I mean, that's what car wrecks do. Scars are random. Bones get broken. Things get moved around and shuffled around. So she does have the tendency to blame Bruce Banner for everything, which is kind of weird. But nevertheless, it's weird. Now, is Smart Hulk as strong as the Rage Hulk? I call the other one Rage Hulk, or the normal one we see. Because it seems like in this show, he's been powered way the fuck down. Either he's been powered down or he's not using his full strength. Just a question I got. I think if we let the series go on long enough, we'll see exactly why that is. Now, I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all. Is She-Hulk a bitch, y'all? And when I say bitch, hold on, don't take that the wrong way, okay? I got female listeners listening to. A bitch is a bitch. Let me actually. Ice Cube said a bitch is a bitch. Whether I'm poor or rich, I talk in the exact same bitch. Now the title bitch don't involve to all women, but all women got a little bitch in them. And look at her little smug face. Look at the picture, y'all. Look at her smugness. He's trying to teach her how he learned how to control a fucking monster. And she's just all super smug. Like, I don't give a fuck. I got this. And she's basically saying, you ain't shit. To me. Because to me, watching the first episode, it seems like, and I had to ask myself this question because they do this all the time, and it's something that they don't need to do to have strong female characters. I love movies with strong female characters, y'all. The new Prey movie is a good example of that. Aliens, Kill Bill. Like, when you do it right, we don't care. And when you show people going through the proper training, it makes sense. That's why nobody liked Rey in the new Star Wars. She was just fucking almighty powerful off tops. So I just had a couple of questions I had. Number one, is Bruce's fault she got her powers and she blames him? Number two, she kicks his ass. She kicks his ass at the beginning, y'all. She beat up the Hulk. And my question is, how did she learn how to fight? Somebody leave that in the comments and explain it to me. How in the fuck did she learn how to fight? Bruce has fought all over the planet and was a champion fighter in Thor 3 on a planet Sakaar, fighting fucking aliens. He fought off the Chitauri in Avengers. He fucking fought off Ultron. He fucking fought Tony in a suit that was designed, the Hulk Buster, to whoop his ass. He got his ass whooped by Thanos, came back. He's fought in Wakanda against the forces of... It's like, where did she learn how to fight? Was she already a kickboxing champion? Is it something in her backstory I don't know? Did all of Bruce's fighting abilities and experience transfer through her through the blood? I don't know. She can even thunderclap better than this fool, and that's her first time trying. Also, look, I don't care who you is, man, woman, ant, alien, dog, cat, zebra. She has zero psychological problems with transforming into a fucking monster. Just think about that. Let that sit in. I think anyone on this planet will have to deal with the psychological issues you're going to have by transforming into a fucking monster. A green monster at that. You're going to need a therapy session or two. That's just another critique I had. Number 5. Number 6, and I skipped 4. The comedy in this is weird. It's hit or miss. I laughed at some of the jokes, but I didn't laugh a lot, and it seems like they're trying to force jokes. When comedy's organic or somebody slips up and say a line, it makes sense and it's funny. But with this, even though I know it is a comedy, don't get me wrong, and I know, she did break the fourth wall in the comics, talk directly to the crowd. She's even busted through some goddamn comic panels and went after the editors and shit. So I get that, but the comedy in this, honestly, y'all, is hit and miss. And if it's gonna be a comedy, you have to fucking be funny. Number 7. Guess you can learn how to be a Hulk in 2 to 3 days. She was on the island with Bruce. She kicked his ass. Said, I don't need to be here. I'm going back to be a lawyer. And I understand her reluctancy. She doesn't want to be a superhero. But when you're a fucking green monster that's big, trouble's going to find you. Which you did at the end of this episode when Giganta or Titania, whatever her name is, busted through the motherfucking courtroom and she had to turn into She-Hulk to, of course, save everybody. So the first episode was cool. But like I said, I guess you can be a Hulk in 2 to 3 days. So fuck the first 2 Hulk movies and all that shit had to do, and fuck all the Avenger shit, basically. Did I like episode 1? I like Bruce Banner in episode 1. Moving on to episode 2. She ends up getting fired for transforming into She-Hulk because basically they said since she saved all the jurors, they're going to be biased in making their decision on the current case she was working on. I can see that. Now, that's for that case. And I was like, y'all gotta fire her for all future cases? That's just one case. She's a lawyer. She probably got a whole docket of fucking cases, right? And I'm like, y'all fired her over that? That was a little weird. But our friend said Hulk's name is dumb. So they just immediately come into episode 2 just clowning. Clowning 40, 50, 60 years of comic books. The name is dumb. And so far in the series, to me, because in episode 1, I forgot to mention, some dudes were catcalling her, right? Words. I'm not condoning catcalling, I don't know how you're supposed to meet a chick without saying hi to them, but you don't have to be vulgar. I get it. You don't have to go do sexual innuendos. All they was doing was kind of following her, saying some shit. Nobody touched her. She fucking transforms into the Hulk and fucks all these dudes up, probably breaking bones and paralyzing motherfuckers. Now, as a person who was supposed to uphold the law, she assaulted 4 or 5 men. But it's double standards because when you're a woman, you can do that. And they be like, oh, you got your ass whipped by a girl. We don't give a fuck. Assault is assault. So you can't be a lawyer and uphold the law and then be a vigilante and be walking around beating people's ass. It's a contradiction. And so far, to me, all the men in this show, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, this is episode 2, including the Hulk, are weak. They're fucking buffoons. Or they straight up idiots. All the males in her family are stupid. The other actual lawyer that we run around with our paralegals, a fucking idiot. And they're trying to play it up for comedic purposes. Okay, I don't know why. I do understand the comparisons to Bruce because, of course, he's the only fucking Hulk on the planet that we know, so she has to use the comparison. But the problem with these shows and a lot of shows when we're trying to build up strong female characters, which you don't have to do if you write them right in the beginning, is they're emasculating him to strengthen her character. You don't have to fucking do that. You don't. Game of Thrones, the chick that killed the Night King, she went through training. We seen her father die. We seen her travel lost lands. We seen her almost get killed. We seen being protector. We seen her train. We seen her with the faceless masked dudes. We seen her learn how to fight and overcome shit. So when she killed the Night King, it made sense. Not necessarily how it was written up to the point, but it makes sense. We love to see people go through stuff. Kill Bill. She had to train with the goddamn master in the mountains for at least a couple years. And she already knew some Kung Fu movies, but when he sat her down and sparred with her, found out she didn't know shit. We watched her punch the goddamn wood until her fucking knuckles cracked and skin bled, gashes. Her hand was so messed up in Kill Bill she couldn't even eat the rice. But we seen her get stronger and stronger and stronger. Then by the time in Kill Bill 2, when they buried her underground in a fucking casket, and she had the willpower to punch herself out, it made sense. Not you just put her in a casket and the motherfucker just punch out. Then you'd be like, what the fuck? This shit don't make sense. I'm sorry for the vulgarity in this because I know we don't cuss a lot of these reviews, but this shows some bullshit. And there's parts I like too, but it's overshadowed by the bullshit. So she ends up getting fired, but she gets another job offer to be a lawyer again. And they said, look, we want you to defend superheroes. Unbeknownst to her, they want her to always be in She-Hulk form basically when she does it. And her first case is to get Abomination released. Let's go back to the one with our boy Ed Norton, the Incredible Hulk, to me, which was better than the original Hulk. Some people disagree. Tim Roth's acting is the best part, and it's one little small scene he had so far in the series. He convinced her that he really needed his help. I was just a soldier. I was just following government rules. They injected me with this crazy ass shit. And fucking, I went nuts and destroyed the city. So he wants to be released for that. She's supposed to be representing him. I want to see more Abomination. I want to see more Tim Roth. Don't have him just here and there. Because he's already a good actor. I love him in Hoodlum when he played Dutch Schultz. Bring more Tim Roth back. Bring more Mark Ruffalo, Bruce Banner back. Speaking of Bruce Banner, he's on a Sakaar ship when she calls him. And he's headed where? Probably back to Sakaar. A lot of people saying and mentioning this is going to set up World War Hulk. I hope it does. I read that story arc. Shout outs to the author and my Uncle Philip Wayne. Shout outs to you. Great story arc. They can bring his son in. They can do so much with this and end up being one of the best Hulk movies. Now, since I don't think the Hulk movie, the first one just titled Hulk, is part of the MCU, I think it starts with the Incredible Hulk. So if they use that as the first movie, they could potentially use his story as the second one and then, of course, round it off with a Cold-ass trilogy. I'm hype about that. And then the episode ends with Abomination breaking out of prison. Y'all remember in Shang-Chi, he was fighting in some cage fights with Wong. So, of course, I think Wong is the one that helped him escape. Makes sense. And then, really, this episode, y'all, is just a filler episode to me. Nothing really too much happened, as far as, like, action-wise. I mean, it didn't move the plot forward too much either. So, yeah, episode 2 filler episode. 3, 4, 5 is gonna probably pick up. Look, overall, I'm 50-50 on this show right now. I hated episode 1. Episode 2 was a filler. I did like some of the stuff they did in there comedy wise, but like I said before, it's hit and miss. I don't know. I don't know about this. I just don't. Yeah, y'all rarely hear me say that during reviews. Like, I don't know about this show. I think it has the potential to be one of the better Marvel Disney Plus shows, but we gotta stop with the agendas. We gotta stop with the. Look how big the Hulk's hand is compared to hers. And he lost the fight? Look at his fucking hand. Even with her, his hand can grab her whole head and just look. I'm not gonna get into it. Quit downing the Hulk to uplift the character. Write her character right and give her. We need her to go through some type of trauma other than just catcalling and getting fired. Because I done been fired before. Everybody has. And catcalling at the end of the world. Also, I don't even want to get into looks on. I like the way She-Hulk looks better than the actress. Is that fucked up to say? Oh well, I don't care. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll be back with more reviews. Peace.